gonna just double check on that, so you guys have to deal with an awkward start to this. And I left team colors on from yesterday, so I guess that'll kind of work for this.
I think so.
Yep. And it looks like, yep, stream's online, we're good to go. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Ting 2v2 Kappa Star League qualifiers. I'm Rifkin, joined, of course, as always, by Zombie Grub. And spawning here on the upper right side of the map, we have a new team. We've not seen them before. It's going to be the combination of Elhaym and Puck. So team flip side tactics.
In the bottom left, we just saw them. It's the blue team, DaNa, the Zerg, and the Terran, Beastyqt.
I've been a big fan of Beastie for a long time, even prior to his return. Me and Elhaym have 100% accurate Tuesday. So what, they played like one game and won? Is that the
Yeah, probably.
Puck's actually a pretty good guy. He's actually probably one of the funnest guys when it comes down to special tactics. You know, he loves doing that whole Colossus Warp Prism shenanigans. Elhaym is an okay Terran. He was pretty solid about a year ago when we'd see him come in qualifiers, but he's really fallen off since then. I really don't know what sort of state he's in. But as BC's just expressed, they did ask if they could hop around servers, and Puck very firmly said, you know, this is an NA tournament, so you should play on the NA server. I think he's got the right to do that.
Yeah. I feel like, you know, maybe some... Oh, cool, tracker.
Teamwork hype!
Cool,
cool. Oh, I can't type in all chat, that's right, we'll get in trouble. Yeah, so here's the cool thing for those who don't know. You can actually build refineries, extractors, whatever for your allies. Doesn't matter what race you are, but you have to share unit control in order to use them. It might not seem like a big deal because it's the same amount of money, but it's a lot easier and faster to get a drone to build an extractor than it is for an SCV to build a refinery. So this just gets Beastie gas a little bit quicker, and this gives him the opportunity to, I guess, go with some Reapers, I'm guessing?
I guess so. Well, he was opening up with a, what did he do? He opened up with a lot of Hellions, and then into Banshees. They had a nice little Hellion Ling, Baneling bust, you know, we always talk about, but we rarely ever see done successfully, and they did it very successfully last game. But it was against two players that I would, like, they were, like, Diamond and Master, you know, maybe the guy was actually, like, X-Master, you know, Diamond, whatever, but, you know, it's not the same as, like, these pro gamers versus pro gamers. That's kind of funny about Puck saying, you know, like, you know, say on NA, because NA tournament, is that usually it might be like, really? But, like, NA really doesn't get a lot of tournaments. Like, they usually don't get the option to, like, say on NA. It's usually, like, EU tournaments that are very small and hell of a lot. In
fairness, I think it's more beneficial if there's more North American heroes to root for as well, because the whole thing about Ting, the guy sponsoring this $5,000 cup is, well, they're America-based. You know, it doesn't matter how big your fan base is in Europe if nobody can buy your products.
That's absolutely a good point. But it's kind of already funny. Like, even the Lycan League, hosted by Lycan, an American, is actually the European default, so... Oh, well.
Well, I think the reason for that, though, is because they was trying to replace the Go for StarCraft Cup that died.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a different circumstance on that one. But, oh, Marine's going to catch the Reaper. That should not have happened. But a miscontrol at Elhaym panicking behind that mineral line.
It's actually just really, really good control about Beastyqt to actually block it out. It's kind of impressive. But it's
just throw it out there, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be the Hellion push. It's actually going to be the Wood of Mine drop that I was expecting last game. So, alright, it came around eventually. This is what Spear was doing to help, you know, I guess, okay, almost blocked right there, but he was doing it to kind of set the pace of the game, good scouting. Okay, nice block right there.
Dodge and weave, dodge and weave.
And did a good job of it.
Alright, well, as cool as and cute as the harass is, what really, for me in the back of my mind, is like, what are these planning for the later? I mean, BC has intentionally chosen to play on one base. Part of me assumes this was for his opener, but secondly, maybe his ally is going to feed him some money. Already see the teamwork with that extractor. 3 bases for DaNa, comfortably so as well. I mean, his production's going to be set, but that's the thing. He's not producing anything other than Drones and Queens right now, so I don't know how long that'll take to get going. If this is a situation that's reversed Lily Canine and Hanfi, where instead of Lily Canine feeding Hanfi, we have DaNa feeding Beastie, I'm not sure how that's going to work out the same way. Because when Lily Canine does those feeder strats, you know, he's got mules, he's got CCs, it's a lot more powerful of an economy.
Yeah, plus the production works entirely differently, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to... Yeah, for Zerg, it's lava, 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 but for, you know, Terran, it's actually production, then actual production. You know, buildings will come first, but... the Wood of Mine does not get too much done here, just one probe kill, and he really needs to save the back.
Yeah, barely gets out of there alive. No follow-up, really. A couple links just kind of hopping across the map, but I mean, DaNa does have an insane worker lead with 3 bases like this, so not having to invest in any units whatsoever. So, small amount of aggression from BC while he gets possibly defensive tanks and such up at home. I mean, he is giving his teammate a huge boost in economy by doing this, but we'll see if that pays off. What I'm trying to see is if he's... I think he's feeding Beasty money, so I'm watching Beasty's money spike up, but I really don't know if that's mules or if that's DaNa sending him money, because mules are a hell of a thing.
I don't know, because I mean, it's such an excellent point that like the production doesn't work the same, and of course the mules would have been better anyways, like to be the feeder, not the receivee, right? I don't know, like the receiver. But anyways, like I would think that it's just Beastyqt is trying to add the aggression, add the comfortable, like, okay, I'm scouting and I'm applying pressure. You're good to be on 3 bases and 62 drones. And then, you know, DaNa actually uses 62 drones to make a really powerful army.
Yeah, like crazy mass bailings or something. I mean, on one hand, for this argument, though, DaNa, I think that it's more efficient to have two bases each than 1 and 3. But it looks like Beasty's going to try and take the gold, so we'll need some help tearing down the rocks. Still putting in some aggression. Nice siege tank positioning over here. We saw a lot of this getting abused yesterday.
Oh,
going to try and focus on the tech lab.
No.
SCVs rushing back to try and defend. Siege tank shooting those SCVs. You know, if you can't get stim, but you manage to get like 8 SCVs for it, it's not too bad either.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna get both.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Focus fire.
So
if he would just focus
so
fire, I think he would have killed it. If he had focus fire, I'm
Yeah.
positive he would have denied stim.
Still, a lot of SCVs down. This is all off the back of 1 base, too. You know, you can see how much control is getting over this game with just limited amounts of units. Well, DaNa, I mean, he's been on 3 bases for quite a while now. You know, it's almost 10 minutes. He's getting a hive. Wow, 14 minutes.
The hive's cool. And we'll come back to that in a second. But Elhaym's lost 17 SCVs through all of this. This is he's got 2 bases, sure, but it's still, that's a sting to take. We look at the actual workers count. BC somehow manages to not have the least amount of workers despite being on 1 base.
Look at DaNa's army supply right now.
Oh, here's Puck. Puck with the Colossus. I told you, man. I didn't even think he would do it this game, but this is like his signature move. Now, this is really irritating to deal with because you have to deal with the Warp Prism, of course. The Colossus is not something you're ever really going to touch. And if it does get caught, you just pick it up in the Warp Prism.
Yeah, I feel like it might be a little bit harder to do against Zerg units. The Roaches, I mean, if they could just follow it around, they definitely would. But with Marines, you can actually do decent damage against them. It is going to be actually pushed away. He should just invest like 1 Viking to help, you know?
Yeah. I'm really curious what DaNa's doing with this faster hive, though. I mean, on one hand, if it's for abducts, I actually don't like the Viper choice to go for that early. But if this is something crazy like Ultras, like just completely catch your opponents off guard, I would love that. But Puck's already moving for Immortals. He's expecting Roaches, so if it is going to be Ultras, it's probably the worst case scenario.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Ultras because he's
Vipers.
Upgrading missile attack.
So I don't know how I feel about the Vipers. What do you think? Because I mean, they don't really have that much to pull into, right? I mean, do you? What? Blinding Clouds,
I don't know.
maybe?
They have almost. They're gonna have a max out Zerg Roach army to pull into.
That's true. I mean, the reason I don't like Blinding Clouds is because it's gonna be very easy for Beasty to get caught in his allies' Blinding Clouds and not be able to do anything.
Maybe we'll see how it actually works out. I mean, it really looks like a very practiced build.
This Colossus.
Just come on, 1 Viking.
Right?
Come on.
Even then, a Viking can't really catch Warp Prism, so it's speed. You remember how many speed buffs the Protoss race has gotten for no reason?
Yes, I do.
I always forget about the Warp Prism.
And they almost
line.
had a DT speed buff.
Yeah.
Which everyone thought was a good idea. I don't know why they didn't do it.
Because they had to figure out a way to integrate Blink into DTs, obviously. Obviously.
Oh yeah, they're still working on that one, just for you.
Well, Zeratul got it, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's all you ever say.
Yeah, and I don't have a better argument. I mean, this Colossus harass, as silly as it is, it has distracted 2 full armies trying to deal with it. So, I mean, prior to this point, there wasn't really a push, but it looks like they're just going to say, screw it. You know what? Have your 12 workers. Enjoy, because we're going to go get your base. And right now, DaNa's army supply is massive. I mean, okay, a lot of this is inflated through Roaches, but it's complemented by Blinding Clouds. So I really think the siege tanks are going to be negligible. Elhaym's going to get wrecked. If he wants to bring those Marines forward to stim, well, guess what? BC's here to help. This is going to be a tough hold for Team Red, for Team Flipside.
Yeah, not really good opportunities for force fields either. They're looking for feedbacks. They get 1. There's still 4 Vipers.
It's 2v1 because Puck was busy playing with that Colossus for so long. He's got a couple of Immortals on the front lines, and Everything else is stuck in a blinding cloud. They completely wipe this first fight, and I mean, the roach count still remains insanely high. On the other side of the map, looks like the Hive might get picked off by a small drop if left uncontested, but here comes the Colossus back home. Maybe he goes to try to hold, I don't know, but either way, they've already taken the losses.
You know, I don't, It was kind of an odd position to take that fight, too. Maybe if they were up the ramp, because there's only 2 blinding clouds, and that's a pretty big natural base, that they wouldn't have been disjointed and actually might have been able to hold a little bit better. Still would have lost the gold base as they do now.
Yeah, nice pick up on the orbital. BC still mining up of his own. Yeah, we really questioned DaNa getting those bases the way he did, but you know, whether there's feeding involved or not, the reality is he comes into this late game with a huge army supply. And oh, again, yes, it's roaches, but the roaches did the job against the mortals, no less, against tanks, no less.
I mean, that was pretty insane. Constantly looking at that army supply and be like, okay, that's a lot higher. That's a lot higher. They're so high. I know we also have upgrades finishing up for our Terran, or our blue team, like 2, 2, 3. Missile attack.
I blew myself.
Yeah. Get it.
If they could kill this other base, it might not be the end of the game, but I mean, this is. It really hurts the economy. I mean, trying to play off the back end of this. Elhaym's going to go for a quad drop to make up for the damage, but I don't know if this has enough in it. Trying to try and catch a couple of the medevacs. That's cute.
I know that feel. I've tried that before.
Actually, you might get one of them. One was really low. That's full. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Two. Come on, focus the fire. Oh, okay, whatever.
It's fine. On the other side of the map, we do the fight go down. These Zealots are holding the line quite well versus the Roaches. DaNa, did he forget? No, he's got rush speed. It just didn't look like it, I guess, zoomed out like this. He's got to be careful for those tanks. Blinding Clouds will be a huge asset, but even without them, just going to stand right on top of everything. In fact, abducts the tank into the army. Meanwhile, looks like those drops have mostly been dealt with. There's like 1 siege tank and 3 marines. Hardly a threat. Double upgrades of the Spire for a transition, too. Didn't even see that in the production tab till just now. So, DaNa says, you know what? I got like 1,800 minerals. Maybe I'll make some mutas.
Yeah, maybe Beastyqt has some excess gas.
Oh, God. Ugh. Puck's did a good job defending so far, but it's just, I'm looking at the map, and I just see a stream of blue. I see DaNa sitting at maxed out supply. Because it'll get brought up today, guys, this is a bug on the UI. The 2v2 UI is not perfect, but it's better than the default, and it will count all supply, but the max is still only 200.
Looks like the drop that we were kind of just like going like, okay, what's it really going to do? Is actually doing some damage here. Oh, I guess the War Prism's helping out as well. The Terran drop is cleaned up, but the Protoss drop still kind of going.
It's at what cost, though, right? I mean, they've lost all their additional bases. Probes are getting shredded, and DaNa still sits there with more supply than everyone else in the game. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good for Team Blue right now. Team Europe.
Yeah. Exactly. Finally, like we really did not get any North American players. Pretty much DaNa's picked all of them yesterday. I tried to get NA versus NA, like Elhaym, or who was it? It was like Caliber versus someone.